Hi guys, this is Night Elite, and today I'm here to show you a combinator contraption that I made as a result of a contest on Reddit, and I'll go into that a little bit more in a minute. First, I will show it to you. So what this is a tileable memory array. So to start out, you paste this top row blueprint, and you can see that there's a few different combinators here. This one is the write bus, that one is the write control signal, this is the input data, read control signal, and then we just add as many of these tileable memory sections as we need to make whatever size of memory we want. So you have to make sure you overlap one row each time. So here we've made eight rows. And how does it work after this? Well, so you set up whatever data you want on the input data and turn the combinator on. And then initially, let's say we want to write this into address 1. You set the address that you want on the black signal from this combinator, from the right address combinator, and you turn it on and then off again. And of course, in a real design, you could replace this with some other combinator logic that sets this. And now, let's try writing something else. So let's make our second value, and let's say iron ore and 7 sulfur. And then that, let's write it as well, but let's put it somewhere else. Let's put it into location 3. So store it into location 3. And now what have we accomplished here? Well, now we can read back. So if we say let's read 1, you see that was the value we wrote. The DIN, 5 steel, 33 sulfuric acid barrels, and 32K or 3.2K heavy oil. Let's just clear that and check what happens if I read something else. So let's read 3. Comes out with what we wrote into 3. So great. Let's clear that one again. And let's read somewhere we didn't set. So 4, say. We got nothing because we didn't set there. Let's go back 3. Oh, we read it back. Okay, great. This combinator here is just as something to capture the output so we can watch it. That's not really a necessary part of the design, it's just there as an example. So we can overwrite things, so if we wanted to write something new to 3 and change it, it will automatically clear if you write something new to the same location. So now we write that, and we can read it back, and we get our 3 uranium ore. So that's good. The other neat thing about this is that even though black is the control signal, that was what the original challenge on Reddit was, that I'll elaborate in a minute, you can also include black in the input. So let's say black equals -500, and let's write that into location 5. Now let's read it back out from location 5. There's our -500. So you can store every signal in the game. None of them are reserved as control signals with this design. And let me talk a little bit about where does this all come from. I'll drag this over here. So there's this new subreddit that some of us put together just recently called Technical Factorio, and Dream Conspiracy came up with this idea a few days ago of combinator gulf, which is making a combinator circuit in as few combinators as possible. And so you can see the challenge here. I'll link to this thread in the video description, but I made a submission for this, which at the time was winning. I think Allaizn made a better one now. But and then I saw that it would be pretty easy to expand it into this with only a couple extra combinators, and that it's actually something a little bit more useful. So there it is. If you've ever needed a memory for some reason, this is a tileable, expandable memory. Expand it to as many memory locations as you need. Fully addressable on read and write. The only requirement is that on the read side and write side, the signals to set the address on both sides have to only be active for one tick at a time. And on the right side, you can only write once every 3 ticks, I think, and on the read side, you can read every second tick. So that is it. Actually, you might be able to read and write every tick as long as you're not writing to the same address. I think that would probably be fine, but I haven't tried it yet. So that is the design. If you're interested in this kind of stuff, check out the Technical Factorio subreddit. And actually, let me go a little bit into some detail maybe on how this works. So how does it get tileable? Well, you can see this combinator with the cyan here on it. It starts out at a value of 0 and it's just staying cyan equals itself plus 1. So as we go down each column, that gets bigger. And then this combinator for write decoding takes the value of single black and says if it equals cyan, then output 1. So that's what does the write decode. And then there's a similar combinator here that takes the read value of signal black and decodes it for the read purposes. And you can read on the Reddit thread how the rest of the circuit works, because it's otherwise exactly the same as my submission over there. So thanks for watching.